Okay, right. So yeah, gonna have someone here, guys. Right now, I'm just going to. I can't remember how to share it. Invite link. So I'm gonna put this back on here. So hopefully Pidge will be back in a moment. I've sent a request. So yes, gonna be having another Watford fan who comes a lot of my spaces join me in a minute. So I've sent another thing out, so he should be around in a bit. But we're going to be speaking about the changes of I think there's change of the FA Cup as well. I think they're scrapping replays. Also for the Carabao Cup, I think Sky Sports are showing more games. So they will get a bit of money there. But we're going to be speaking about quite a bit. So we'll go over. Obviously, I've got the game on in the background. So I will hopefully have Pidge here in a minute. I might have to send him the link on his actual thing. So I'll just see if it lets me do it this way. So hopefully he'll be here in a moment and we can start. But if you want to leave any comments, there's a chat box there. So if you've got any questions, let us know. Myself, I'm a Watford fan. Pidge is a Watford fan. So we will have our opinions on it. So he should be here in a moment. Pidge, you there, mate?
Yeah, I'm here, mate.
Good man, good man. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. You?
Yes, really good, thank you, mate. But no, I thought we'll see what happens. I'm going to be careful because obviously last time I couldn't post the last one because we had those people come on, didn't we?
Yeah, it's trial and error, mate. I've done stuff. It's not your fault. They should they should be a bit more respectable to you rather than trying to want to be gangsters.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do, mate. So if we do get requests come in,
Yeah,
I will say who it is,
yeah,
and if you know them, just say yes or no. If we don't know them, then we won't bring them up. So.
yeah. Fair enough, mate. That's fair dues.
Because I think it went a bit crazy, but it was annoying because it was a good podcast, but obviously if I put that on, it would have been completely took off straight away. So I
Yeah,
couldn't.
it's not your fault. It's a thing. I won't be on too long, but because I've got food and I've got the kids still up, but I'll stay on as long as I can. All right.
That's great, mate. So obviously we'll start. Obviously today it's a big game for what? Well, it is sort of a big game because we need a home win, don't we? At least.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah, like Geordie and a few others have said that it's not it's not really the result. We just need to see because it's irrelevant what we do really, but it'd be nice to see a performance.
Definitely, mate. Definitely. But no, I thought because I've been reading a lot's been going on about next season.
Yeah,
So obviously the since we've been supporters, the FA Cup is massive for the lower league sides, isn't it? For revenue and money.
mm.
What's your opinion on this? Because obviously a lot of supporters from bigger clubs would be a bit happier because they won't have as many games to play. But for me, it's like it's not fair on like clubs like in League Two. Like there's really small clubs who rely on getting a big draw if they get to the third round of the FA Cup, don't they?
Yeah. There's absolutely, mate. There's two ways of looking at it from my point of view anyway. You look at it as, okay, it'll make it more exciting in terms of we won't have to some replays are just droned out just to get a replay. You'll get the excitement of if the smaller team is drawn at home, there's more chance of a giant killing. That in that case, yeah. I mean, the less games thing is a load of rubbish from the Premier League clubs because Wolves have played less. It was I think who's O'Neill has come out and spoken about it, but they've played one less game or would have played one less game than the EFL teams have done this season. So that, in terms of what O'Neill's coming on about, is a load of rubbish. And plus, Thomas Farker's got short memory because Brentford were, I think not me, but someone posted. If I could find out, I'll give you obviously the credit to the person who posted it. But he said that Brentford back in a few years ago was £7 million in debt. They got an away tie or they got a big cup tie, and it made them at least 700,000. So Brentford have got short memories on that respect because that helped them out when they were in the EFL.
But I think Brentford do forget they were League One / Championship club for a long time.
Yeah.
So it's a bit, like you say, it's a bit strange what he's been coming out with this week. But no, I don't get that. So,
but sorry, mate. My opinion on it is I feel sorry for the EFL clubs, not because Watford are an EFL club, but I feel sorry for the fact that they won't get those replays if they do somehow force the replays against the bigger sides, and they won't get a big payday. And to be fair, some of the clubs, okay, the chairman and committee or whoever has voted for this change, but a lot of the clubs did actually give the gate receipts to the smaller clubs when it did come around. So in that respect, they did do that. But yeah, it's wrong. They at least have one replay. I remember years ago, and it shows my age, obviously, but one of the first games I remember going for Watford was the Walsall game at home when Blissett scored straight from the kickoff. I think it's 4-4. That one's a classic, but we went through like 3 replays, and that I can understand that, but at least just one replay and then penalties, because then, like I say, you guaranteed that bit of money for the smaller club, and it keeps a lot of clubs alive. I mean, I used to go and watch Hemel Town a lot, and I know a few of my mates still do, and they'd get through to like the second qualifying round or whatever, and that was only like a few grand, but that was massive for those clubs, especially the smaller clubs. And Dawkins, chairman, has come out and said that as well. It's massive for them.
Well, that's it, because obviously, I know Watford was an established Premier League club for 5 seasons, but still, it's like we've been there. We've been low end in the EFL, like old Division 3, haven't we? So we've been there. So Watford would be like, they wouldn't be happy with this change. But for me, I think it's a bit sad, really, because obviously football is for everybody. I know the big clubs obviously make a lot more money than what we do, but it's gonna really hinder the English game for me. I don't know what you think on that.
No, you're absolutely spot on, mate. Sorry, mate, go on.
It makes the richer clubs richer, don't have to play as much. But if I was a professional footballer, I'd want to play as much as possible, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, there's a case in point. There's an argument. Okay, the players are athletes, they're fitter. But then you also flip it on the other side. The pitches are better, the facilities are better, everything's catered towards that anyway. And back years ago, they were playing like 60, 70 games, some of them, the really successful sides. And they knew the more games you played, obviously, the more successful you are. It's just kind of dogs. I mean, the one thing I'm absolutely nailed on certain that we should do is stop playing them at Wembley. I mean, one of my favourite ever away days, cup or non-cup, was Wolves FA Cup in 2019, obviously. So people say, well, you wouldn't have got that if they're taking it away. But I really do think now the time is right to take those semi-finals away from Wembley and make it more of a novelty to get to Wembley, because it was fantastic for us. And it's, I mean, I wouldn't change it for the world. It made me look like a bit of a hypocrite now, because I absolutely love the fact that we went to Wembley in the semis, but it does knock a bit of gloss off of it. And I remember going to like Villa Park for the Southampton game when we played them back in around 2003 time.
Yeah.
And you know, like the Plymouth game at Villa Park and stuff like that. I think that makes it special as well. So that's something that we should definitely do. I know the replay thing, it's going to be hard trying to get that back. I hope they do, but semi-final definitely now. They must have paid for that stadium now. I mean, when they first opened Wembley, there was an argument, oh, we've got to pay for it, we've got to play, show many events as we can, blah, blah, blah. But they must have paid for it now, surely.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
Mm.
I definitely think so. But no, I'm a bit of agreement on you. I would love to go back. You remember when go back to bigger grounds like Villa Park, Old Trafford. I'd even put the Emirates up there,
Mm.
Anfield, for the semi-finals. I like that because obviously I remember when we played. I can't remember the year it was when Watford made it to the semi-final, and it was in Southampton at Villa Park. Was it? I can't remember what year that was. Was
Yeah,
it
about
2003?
2003, mate.
Yeah, so me and my brother-in-law went there and I met with my uncle, but it was a great day. I know we lost, but it was still Villa Park was probably one of the biggest stadiums, and I think it makes it a bit more special as well for me on that.
Mm. Yeah, no, I completely agree, mate. It makes it make it a bit more meaningful. I mean, I know times have changed and people don't sit in front of TV watching BBC One the whole day now and all that sort of stuff because obviously social media's taken over. But the FA Cup final used to be like like a
Same thing,
almost
wasn't
like a weekly, but a daily event. I mean, it started at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning.
I remember that, yeah. Oh
You know,
God, yeah.
I
There's
know
all
it's
that.
making me show my age, but you know,
Well, you're already a little bit older than me, mate. I don't know how old you, I'm 39 this year.
no, you're not
So
40 yet, mate.
hey, I'm nearly next
Yeah,
December I'll be 40.
it's creeping up, mate.
Yes, yes. Making my mum and dad feel old, bless them. I'm the last child
Yeah,
to turn 40, so
yeah, exactly, mate.
but no, obviously, don't know if you know, but our Spotify platform is growing now. Little
Brilliant.
by little. But we were looking into what we were planning to do was to do as like we do on Monday evenings Twitter space there at 7 o'clock. And we were looking to do if we could bring it together, like do the podcast with the meeting, but it won't let us do that. So we're not going to be able to do that. So that's what I mean. So the podcast, obviously, we want to go, obviously, the platform and on YouTube and
Mm.
Spotify. So we're going to do, like, if there's a topic come up, we're going to start slow and try it this way. But I thought, because obviously we tried to do it on Thursday, but obviously I couldn't put it out, like we said before. So I thought, oh, do you know what? I'm literally watching Leicester West Brom and nothing
Mm.
to really do in that. So I thought, see what happens. And lo and behold, you turn up, mate. So fantastic.
No, no, pleasure, mate. I mean, I'm really happy you let me get on, mate. I mean, I'll say it now because a lot of stuff gone around for ages, but you know, I started about 7, 8 years ago, and I'm glad it stayed as shall we say small as it was. And mine was pretty much underground. Hard. It was more a smaller base podcast. There's loads of much bigger podcasts than mine. We all start from somewhere. You
Yes.
know, it's fantastic what the Do Not Scratch Your Eyes boys and stuff, and from the Rookery End and all those, and Voices of the Vic and all the other ones are doing fantastic. And I wish them all the success. And you guys are just starting out, and it should be enjoyable. As long as it's enjoyable,
Yeah.
it'll come off to the people that are watching. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, we're all fans trying to get the same aim. And yeah, you can only go from strength to strength, mate. You know.
That's it. It was like, well, I only randomly was going to, because I started last, I think it was end of July, beginning of August.
Mm.
On the spaces on Twitter, and it was just a random one. I thought, do you know what? Just have a little, see how it goes, and it got quite popular.
Mm.
So I had supporters messaging me saying, "Oh, I'd like to come and join you, speak about Watford." Oh, fantastic! And it's just grown and grown and grown. And now what we do is, I'm pretty sure you've heard this. We bring supporters of other teams,
Yep,
uh,
that's
get them
good.
to come on and. It's just nice to get their opinions as well. And we've had a few special guests come on as well. So it's just really nice.
Yeah,
And
exactly, mate. That's I don't want to talk about mine because this is about yours, mate. Mine started with a laptop, with a small tablet,
yeah,
talking about just for a laugh, and I realised people liked watching it. It was only a very, very small amount. We still get that now, and it's that everyone starts from somewhere. And like I
uh,
say, there's so many decent Watford podcasts out there. It's nice listening to them.
no, I always listen to Do Not Scratch Your Eyes
Yep.
uh, after the game, and I watch Voice of the Vic and WD18 every week. There's so many good ones,
Mm,
and they are enjoyable to watch and listen to.
mm.
Oh,
Exactly, mate.
just to let people know, Leicester have just gone 1-0 up, so they've got 91 points. But do you know, it was weird. It was all West Brom, and they just didn't take their chances. So, and one of our ex midfielders cleared a chance off the line as well, Childwy. So,
Oh, Ramsey, yeah, it is. I think one more final thing on that, the pods, mate. There's something it gives everyone all of them are really, really good, and it gives, like, including yours now, that yours will grow and go from strength to strength. It gives everyone a an alternative.
yeah,
You can listen to all of them, but every single one is slightly different to the other one, which is
yeah.
good.
Well,
So keep
I
going, mate.
know it's like with I've always liked WD18. What Jacob and Sam and Charlie do is really good.
Yeah, yeah,
I like because they've got their own sponsor on Mad Squirrel, the pub, haven't they? So that's really good.
yeah.
And Voice of the Vic, what they started, I remember they started similar to this, didn't they? They did a podcast.
A lot of them do, mate.
Yeah, and then
Especially during COVID. I
yeah,
mean, we went into Zoom and StreamYard because of COVID.
yeah,
And a lot of people went through Twitter and the Spaces. So it certainly, if you're going to say one thing came out of it, was that. But
yeah. But
yeah,
no COVID.
definitely,
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because obviously COVID hit us hard and the club hard as well.
yeah.
Because obviously, I think that's a lot of the reason we went down.
Mm.
Uh, because I know there was talks, wasn't there, to actually stop the actual Premier League season from that moment, didn't it? But
Yeah.
obviously, what we would have loved that to happen. But
Oh God! I mean, the thing is that they were saying we were faulted because of COVID, but we had lost the game before that. Yeah, okay, we can go on about Liverpool, but we
but
can't. We lived on that, far too much after COVID, and we were good. We simply weren't good enough defensively. I mean, forward line was amazing. I thought our forward line was brilliant, but we just
yeah,
didn't invest in the defence. And a lot of people said that on your space. You
yeah.
know, we've never really recovered since then, to be honest.
That's one thing I completely agree. I've always said we needed to grow our defense, make it stronger, but that's just one area they didn't seem to want to do, was it?
No.
Uh, but that's the pot they like to attack, get young talismans like when we had Pedro and Richarlison. But no, I just think that's one of their mistakes, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. Duxbury did come out and say at the time when they were doing like a fans forum thing, saying, we're near where we want to be. We only had like a couple more signings, which they did, but they were just the wrong areas. We needed Dawson turned out to be a decent player for Wolves and West Ham, but we needed another one.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely another centre back and another left back.
Yeah, the left back option was always one I needed to look
Yeah,
into.
I loved
Wasn't it?
Holobas, but
There's a lot of supporters who loved Hollowbath on it. I'm one in myself. He was just one of those characters, wasn't he? So,
yeah, we
but
had that same arrogance and at the end of that season as we had in the mid-90s, where we didn't spend any money and went down, and it was the same sort of thing. We didn't really spend the money in either the right areas, and we got found out.
but no, I agree with that, mate. But no, it's just mad, isn't it? But no, eventually, what I want to do, obviously, I want to speak to the guys from Voice of the Vic on a podcast.
Yeah,
I've spoken to Sam and Charlie.
yeah. I sit a couple of rows in front of Sam. I've seen Mark and met Mark a couple of times. Sam's a nice bloke.
But Jacob, he's the one I would love to interview because I know it was all down to him and this other lad, wasn't it? Who started it? I think his name was Robin or something like that, wasn't it? Who
Oh,
does
Robin, yeah. I mean, the WD18 boys used to start doing the fan cams and
yeah,
stuff, and I've managed to sneak on a few of them myself, and they were really, really good. and they've obviously progressed and gone another direction, and fair play to them.
Yeah, like I say, I think if someone has an idea, doesn't it, you can grow as much as you want to grow. And obviously, what we've done on ours, we've got supporters who've never come and spoken a space before recently, and they feel comfortable to come and speak with us. So it's really not. I like that because it gives them a different option, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely, mate. Like I say, they're all give each they're all slightly different to the other. So if you don't potentially want to watch one, just watch the other. And yeah, they're all really good. They're all really good. They do their own thing, and fair play to them.
No, I've got a lot of respect for them. But no, one thing that I'm looking to do next is build our own website. But that's going to take me a long time. So a lot of work on that. But that's going to be like in a year or two anyway. But
Yeah, work on the socials first.
yeah,
Get your following up, and then do it. Because I was thinking of doing a website, but it was just no point. Most people weren't going on the website; they were going on like Facebook and Twitter.
yeah, I think that's what it mainly is now, isn't it? Facebook, Twitter. But if it grows really big, obviously I might look into doing that. But there's an option we might do there anyway down the line. But we've been speaking, especially for next season, we might start looking to do fan cams.
Yeah.
So we might do that. It could be good.
Yeah, I've
So
got someone who's looking at doing that, so I'll pass you the name over because he might be interested in collabing with you.
yeah, I think it'd be good. But no, obviously, I know you're a regular listener on our spaces recently, so obviously we can work together as well, mate. If you're happy to do that, and then
Yeah, I'll taking a back step with my ones because I just because of me portering shifts, it's a bit of a nightmare trying to make sure I do it consistently. So I only do Sundays now.
yeah. Well, no, we always do ours on a Monday, but I was speaking with another fan, and he said what a good idea it would be to do one like on a Thursday or a Friday evening to speak about the game before.
Yeah,
But
that'll be good, mate.
that's not really out there at the moment, so that's why I want to do it on these podcasts. But it's annoying with Twitter, especially X now, as it's called, that you can't share. So after you've done a space, you can't share it through like put it on Spotify. It won't let you do it.
Won't it
But
let you download it?
no, so I was trying to do that, but it won't of our previous ones, but it won't let me do it. I went on the laptop, I went on my
Oh.
phone, tablet. Uh, so that's why I was looking to do like Zoom/Space, but that won't let you do it either.
No,
So
StreamYard lets you. If you pay like £20, it lets you put all the graphics up, and it
yeah,
lets you download the audio and the video.
yeah, I think that'd be good. So that's something when our platform grows a lot bigger, we're gonna do something like that because
Yeah.
me and George are looking to do StreamYard. So I think that
Get a sponsor for
yeah,
say 15-20 pound a month or something, and that pays for your StreamYard then.
that's what we need to do. So obviously, because you know that, so that's why we want to work with you as well, mate. Because obviously you know that. So
Yeah,
I
but
want
I'm
I want to
pleasure to
work with
help.
stuff, yeah, who knows stuff on that. So obviously we can grow the channel as much as we can. And obviously we're looking to eventually get a subscription through Spotify as well. So that's where you can make money as well. So that'd be good.
Mm.
That's slightly growing. And randomly from yesterday, we had like so many views. Who searched us on Spotify? It's gone over 1,000. We've had 1,000 views now.
There
So,
we go, mate. It's
so
like it's like all the platforms. If you people consistently know you're on and at a particular time,
yeah,
they will tune in. If it's all over the place, like if I'm doing game streaming, most people know if I'm on, it'd be about 11 o'clock at night.
yeah,
The kids are asleep, and also it's a consistent time for me for my shifts.
yeah.
So then more people will come on then because they know you're consistently on. If you're just on willy nilly, like 3 o'clock one week, 2 o'clock the next, then people won't know when it's on, sort of thing.
But no, one thing I definitely want to do, obviously, we might start from this week. So people who will be listening back to this, we're going to do a pre-match to the next games. So hopefully we were planning to do that for this week, but obviously, like I've said, that we couldn't post that. So we've learned from that.
Mm.
um, And in down the line, I want to get that lad who we got on before because he had a lot to say. I think his name is Daniel or something. But he had a lot of good things to say.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. I mean, we've had some idiots on my one as well. It's just that most of them, 99% of people that have come on these pods are really good, regardless if you agree with them or not. It's their opinion. And as long as it's their own genuine opinion and they're not there just to wind people up, but then you have to take it on board.
That's it, isn't it? You've got to be careful. It's like, it was just so many came up. I thought, who are all these people? And it was mental. So I didn't know any of them. So if I get that ever come up again, if I don't know them, I'm not bringing them on.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, mate. You'll get used to that. You know now you can't do certain things, so then you'll do another route. And we've all done it. We've had to get through to work the kinks out of stuff and say, right, we won't do it that way because that doesn't happen. We'll do it this way, blah blah blah. And yeah. That's it.
Like what you said, I'm gonna each week I'll post on platforms that we're doing pre-match, and if anyone's interested, 2 or 3 or 4 of you want to come and speak, then we will send you the link like I did with you today. But no, it's exciting. So we can go over a bit about the game today if you wish, if you've got.
Yeah, go for it, mate. Yeah, I could do it about 10, 15 minutes, mate. I'll put as much as I can in for you.
So obviously, team news will be out in just under an hour.
Yeah.
They've been saying that it's going to be a fully fit squad. So do you think we're going to see the likes of Ngakia play today, Ken Sema?
I'd like to see Ngakia. There's a good player there, but I think he'll be on the bench. Andrews will be if he plays free at the back. Andrews will be at wing back. I'd love to see Sema starting.
I'd love to see him bring back.
Yeah, I love King Ken. He's not the most flamboyant of players, but when he's on it, he'll give you 110% effort every single game. That's one thing I like about him.
No, I agree with you. I've always liked Ken Sema, and when he does eventually leave, it's going to be a sad day for us Watford fans.
Oh, absolutely.
But no, I agree. I think we've got to go for the 3 at the back with Andrews and hopefully Ken on the left side. What do you reckon midfield? Do you reckon it's going to be similar?
Well, my midfield, I mean, Ronnie Bashiru's playing really, really well. Before I would have had Kone, Kiembe, and Livermore, or Xavi Livermore, as I call him. But you couldn't really have him now. I'd have Deli Bashiru in place of him. So that would be my 3 in midfield.
Yeah.
To start.
And does Dennis start at top for you?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Rajovic gets a lot of stick, and some of it is justified because his work rate in terms of his overall play is is poor to say the least. But we brought him in to basically sit on the 6-yard box and get goals.
Yeah.
And to be fair, he's got 11 or 12 of them. Just his all-round game is not really that appealing, is it? That's the only thing.
Do you think this summer's a bit? Do you reckon he stays next season, or do you reckon that we're going to look to move him on?
I'd keep him, but Dennis wants to stay, so I'll keep. I'd love to see if Dennis can stay.
I think the option's there for it. I think he wants to stay.
Yeah, we need. I'd say that Langstaff from Notts County would be really good. I know a couple of people on the pod that I did last Sunday were coming up with him. Mullins is a bit too old now from Wrexham, but something like that. We need to start scouting in the lower leagues because there's some really good bargains. I mean, 2 words I'll tell you that was a fantastic signing. Okay, he's had a bit of a ban, recently, but he's a fantastic player. Ivan and Tony.
Yeah,
he's not a bad signing. He was, and I said that when we went down, we should have broke the bank to sign him. And yeah, definitely. But there's some good players, and like I said, cleverly now, if with all the rumours circulating around Twitter and social media, obviously you can't believe all you read. But if he stays on now, he should have some good contacts around United and a few other places where we can do like Company did and bring in some good on the fringe young players from these Premier League sides.
Well, obviously you've just mentioned Tom, and we haven't mentioned him on this whole episode. But apparently there was an article out, wasn't there? I think it was like 2 days ago, that a club's interested in taking him on, but there's saying that Watford are looking to actually have him as manager, and he's not going to be in discussion with that other club.
Yeah.
What's sort of really good news for us, because I'm one of these people. What he has done, first time ever being a manager, at his age as well, and what he's done. I know you get some fans saying he's only got one win, and that's against Birmingham, but he's got some results, and he's only lost one. So against an informed Southampton team. So I think you've got to give him a chance and make sure you let him hit the players he wants to bring in. I think that's a major thing on it. I think if you just say, "Oh, you're gonna get this player, you're gonna get this player," I don't think that would work like the Pots have done before.
Yeah, I mean, the Pozzos, to their credit, have shown restraint and a lot of leniency towards Val. So they gave him a hell of a lot more power than a lot of coaches have had previously. So in that respect, I do believe they'll be edging towards that next season with Tom. But, you know, they need to say to Tom, and they will say this, they'll obviously tell him the budget, but then Tom will need to go to him and say, look, this is the style of play I'm going to play. This is the type of player I need. You need to go out and get me this. And we've got scouts and we've got a recruitment team that, if they're doing their job properly, will go out within budget and get these players. If we can't afford them, then we just get them in on loan. But the one good thing with Tom being in here, there's that conveyor belt from the youth team now. So if the players are good enough, they've got half a chance of getting in, and he can start afresh next season and bring in some of these these players to give them at least a few cameos through the games, through the season.
Yeah, that would be good. I'd like to see that, and I'd be excited about that, because I know I've even saying to a few supporters that, and they don't think Tom's the right manager for us, but I completely disagree with them. I think we need to go down this line.
Well, look at Carrick.
I know you got to give these managers a chance, haven't you?
Yeah. Absolutely agree, mate. You know, I think he's still a baby in terms of coaching, because, I mean, when did he start really dive into coaching this season?
Yeah, it was this season.
So in terms of what he's done, he's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that.
You know, full credit to, I don't know, I'll say it now, I don't know Richard Johnson, but I've met him a few times, and the guy's done a few fantastic things for me, like getting a football shirt, a couple of things like football shirt for one of my friends who was suffering from a very bad illness and stuff like that. So I've met him a few times, Jono, and I spoke to him recently about just basically, not really long conversation, just basically, well done, mate, you and Jimmy and everyone, for the amazing hard work you're doing in the youth team, because the shall we say, the flowers are starting to sprout out now, in terms of we're starting to see the hard work coming through now, you know, with all like the Eames, the Greaveses, the Adiemos, and players like that are on the cusp, and that we're giving youth a bit of a chance now. And I think those Jono and all the guys are doing a fantastic job, and Tom's part of that.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you on that, mate. I think it could be an exciting summer, because a lot of others, well, last little topics, don't think Watford are gonna have a lot of money for the summer.
No.
But was you at the meeting with Pozzo in the summer last summer?
Yeah, I'm contrary to some reports of people were saying, I'm not doing victim thing. I didn't go to the one before that. We had that supporters club was there. I went to the one after the QPR game, and I was going to ask some questions, but one of my friends, other Arsenal friends were doing the questions beside me. So she had more bottle to answer them in the proper way than I was. But we went to that one, and yeah, it was really, really good. I do like the fact that they're doing it in different topics. So the QPR one was the first team, and what the premise is going forward. There was one about, you know, I'll say flasks, but all that sort of kind of stuff, and the club facilities and stuff, one thing. And then the one with Richard Johnson and The one that coming up with him and a few others is about the youth development.
Yeah,
So yeah, I went to the one in the summer and it was very positive. I mean, I know Manga's gone now, but being my German team being Dortmund, I mean, I watched a lot of Bundesliga and he was very revered in Germany.
yeah,
I had a word with Duxbury and I did say to him, I've been a big critic of his on my pods for a while, and he was really genuine bloke, really lovely guy. He had a 10-minute chat with him. He took that on board and had a chat with him about that. And I'll tell you what, Gioretta, I've been a massive critic of his. He's one of the loveliest blokes when you meet him face to face.
yeah. I've met him as well. I remember meeting him at
I've
one of the
never
games.
met him before. I had a bad opinion about him because of all the stuff you hear, and that's me. I was gullible enough to, take a lot of it in. But I tell you what, but when you're chatting to him, he's so passionate about what he's doing, and he's such a lovely, pleasant bloke as well. And it doesn't mean he can do his job properly, but he's really, really nice guy, and he took time to chat to people that didn't agree with what he was doing and what we heard.
Yeah,
And he told us what he wants to achieve, and yeah, like I said, Danny Backman and Val were there, and like I say, I'm a big critic of Danny, but I think he will go in the end of the season, and for all the criticism that I've thrown his way, I wish him all the best, mate.
well, for me, I know he's stressed me out a lot the last 3 years. But I do feel for him because he's had a lot of backlash from Watford supporters. Because I'm pretty sure they're not going to say, but I'm pretty sure they listen to podcasts and that, and they hear what fans have got to say about them. I'm pretty sure they do. They're still human and they've still got lives out of football. So it's like it wouldn't surprise me. And a lot of my space, I've had a lot of people give him a lot of criticism.
Yeah.
And
Well, some of it is justified, to be fair, but some of it is really bad.
but what's good on mine, you get some supporters who actually love him as well. So it's nice to do it like both ways. So obviously, I'm a bit of
Yeah.
yes and no with him. If he has a good game, I'm always saying yeah, he's had a great game today. But I never say anything harsh towards him. If he does something bad, I'll say yeah, I don't agree if he's done that. But
Yeah, that's what Danny said on the when he got interviewed. He said one of the guys put up a really good point at that meeting. They said, does the recent, because people were being really, I'm not going to say any names or anything, but people were being really offensive to him. And he said, look, I'll take it. I'll take the criticism all day long. The people want to say I'm shit, basically. I'll take it on board. I'm my own man and I can blank it out. But he said, it's the personal insults. He said, I can't take it. And I said, well, that's absolutely fine. It's absolutely justified. But you've got the same sort of thinking that what I do. When we used to do like pre-match, like you do, but post-match, sorry, and you talk about the game. And I always used to stress that my opinion on the particular player is based on that game. If they've had a blinding season, I always never lose the foresight to know that what a fantastic player he's been. But that particular game, if the guy's played badly, I will dig him out about it. I'll say, look, it wasn't very good. But then the following game, if I said certain players, say like Ryovic, I'll say, oh, he was shit against such and such. The following game, he has a blinder. I'll be like, oh my God, what a game he's had,
Yeah. I know this is a bit of a topic we can literally speak about, and our last little topic we can go over. But I don't know. I want to get your opinion on this because I'm not going to name supporters' names out because it's not fair to do so. But I want your opinion because a lot of supporters can be extremely negative all the time. If Watford get a point, if Watford win or anything, because they're not happy with Gino or the players we've got in the club or what's going on at the moment. But a lot of people have been saying about Watford calling what's the word for it? I can't remember what it was. Oh God, I can't remember what they call them. But there's these certain supporters call Watford fans who it's bugged me. I had it in my head then, but I can't remember what it's actually called. I'll probably mention it on my next space, but I can't. I think you know what I'm on about. But it's like
delusional or something like that.
Yeah, so basically they have an opinion
Yeah.
they won't voice it or stuff like that, and they're really on at them. And I don't like that myself. And I see a lot of tweets that are very negative when there's no need to be.
As long as you balance it out, if it's something good, like I say, I've never been a massive fan of the Pozzos, but you reel it back and say, actually, if you balance out the argument and say, okay, I don't like the way they've done this, change of manager, blah blah blah, and all that sort of stuff. You look at how good the ground looks. You know, I know doesn't make a winning team, but what they've improved in terms of facilities, you know, training ground, all that stuff. So there is good stuff. So as long as you balance it out, like I say, if you're just literally on social media to just slag off the club and slag this off, balance it out. So when something does actually good, you sort of think, well, actually, fair play. I've been the biggest critic, but fair play. This has happened. Well done to them.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like it's not.
Yeah.
I know obviously everyone has their opinions and stuff, but when I just see constant negativity all the time, I think, come on, be realistic here. It's like,
Yeah,
but
you're right.
you get a lot of negativity by certain fans who just want to be negative all the time. But then you get other fans who are negative, but then they have positivity as well. Like you say, to balance out what's nice and what should happen.
I completely agree. The thing is though, if someone's constantly negative, but it's their honest and true opinion, then fair enough. I mean, but you get in every walk of life, you get, even if it's not social media, you get people that are having opinion just to get a reaction.
Yeah.
And that's not a true opinion. I've said many times when all the forums and stuff, as long as it's your true opinion, I might absolutely hate it, but you can tell when someone's doing something just to get a reaction. And it's no point, because if you're disgruntled about the club, fair play to you. Voice it. You know, that's the only way it's going to be sorted, if people voice their opinion if they're disgruntled by the club. But when a player or something is, you know, the player's playing well for one game, at least give him his due for one game.
Yeah.
You know, even Zuniga years ago, I bloody hated the player. I thought he was crap, but I gave him his due against United. I thought he was absolutely amazing against United that game.
Yeah.
You know, you balance it out a bit.
I mean, that was his only really good game, wasn't it?
I thought when he came over, I said, "Oh God, here we go. We got one here." And then after that, you never saw him.
Yeah. I remember him. I remember the goal as well. It was a really good goal. But like I said, after that, I never really heard of him. After he had a couple of appearances, didn't he? But nothing out there. But no. Well, thank you for coming up today. It's been lovely to hear from you. And at least we can put this out on our Spotify thing today. What's going to be nice.
No, it's absolute pleasure, mate. And I really do wish you guys all the best, because there's some amazing podcasts out there. Like I say, all the ones I mentioned, Do Not Scratch Your Eyes, and From the Vic WD18 and Voices of the Vic, all those lot are absolutely amazing. So you're part of the family now. So, you know, hopefully onwards and upwards for you boys.
Thanks, mate. And yeah, we'll be on Monday night. I think it's at 6:45, and we've got a fan coming to speak with us. I can't remember what they're called, but Geordie set it all up.
Brilliant. That's good.
So we're going to be having a chat with them, and obviously speak about today. Hopefully with 3 points, that'd be nice.
Absolutely, mate.
But I'm going to enjoy the rest of this game now, and post this. So thank you again, and hopefully hear from you within the next week or so, mate. And
pleasure, mate. Have a good weekend.
You, mate. And just to let everyone else know, we are going to do pre-matches to games, so we will be back probably Thursday next week. Don't know the time yet, but it'll be between 5 and 8 o'clock, something like that, for about 40 minutes, just to speak about the next game. So if you're ever interested in joining, let us know, and we can get you on, like we had Pitch on today. So thank you again, Pitch, mate.
No, absolute pleasure, mate.
And enjoy your day, and we will speak to you soon, mate.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Take care.
Take care. Thank you. Bye, mate. And thank you so much for everyone listening. You can go listen to this on Spotify and on YouTube later today, and go listen back to them today, guys. So thank you as well. Go follow us on our platforms on YouTube, the Yellow Brick Road Boys, and on our Spotify account with the same name. We are on X, Instagram, and TikTok. We're in our channel. So thank you again, and up the Orns.